So hello and welcome to Dami Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is in the celebration of the start of the season. Yes, the mighty holidays. I believe this was given to me by my mother-in-law. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure she gave me most of my Christmas mugs. Today's tea is number 3 from our November Sips by box, the the Dreamer Herbal Nighttime Blend. And it does say, warning, please consult a healthcare provider prior to use if you have any medical conditions, are taking any medication, or pregnant or nursing. It smells really good. You can smell the peppermint. When I put the tea bag in, I smelled the tea bag. I was like, I didn't realize there was mint in there, but I also get some of that fruity flavor smell to it. So let's give this a taste and see how I like it. I'm not sure. It's been sitting here for a little bit, so it should be fully steeped. I am getting some of the fruitiness on the front, but I think the peppermint on the back end of the sip is just a tad strong. Yet something in there is bitter. Not sour, bitter. And I think it's interfering with the flavor. It's an okay tea at this point. I don't think it's one I'd buy, but we'll see what it's like at the end of this. It's going to be plenty strong by then. So anyway, as you can see, my hair is in a weird wrap. This is actually a t-shirt. This is the final step in my hair care process. This was something I'd actually had planned to do starting in the new year, but with my curl box delayed, even though I had other stuff I could do, I wasn't 100% prepared to do them. And with the holidays coming, I think some of this message is going to be important. So here we are. We're going to do our whole and healthy videos. We're going to start that series now rather than in the beginning of the year. This is going to be basically talking mostly about my weight loss journey and stuff like that. You know, those things that really we start feeling the pressure on a lot, particularly around the holidays. We have a culture of diet. Always be on a diet. Be on a diet. Watch what you eat. Always be on a diet. And so I wanted to address that because for people who are being told they're too fat and should lose weight, the holidays and family get-togethers are amongst the most stressful part of the year. So we're going to start that now, right before Thanksgiving. This is going to go up the day before Thanksgiving, I believe. And I just really kind of wanted to share some things that I've learned on my journey over, however long the series ends up lasting. But I'm going to do something else too. As a part of the whole trying to keep it part of makeup and the new year, the old year going out and the new year coming in. And I'm going to start with, since we're starting it now in the middle of that kind of transition, or at the beginning of that kind of transition. The other thing I'm going to use this series for is to play with some new makeup and some old makeup at the same time. Before we get started on that, I did have my Earfleek actually show up, so let's see what they sent real quick. As you know, Earfleek is $3.95. There's also a $9.95 option. It's once a month subscription, and because it's just this one tiny little thing, I tend to unbox it with other stuff. And we always get our little card that says, "Hey girl, here's a fun pair of earrings I personally selected just for you, your stylist Rachel." So that's cute. That's a little different than their previous cards, which is nice. Let's take a look at our earrings. They look light and delicate. Alrighty, these look like they might be cute. My neighbor's home, so if you hear thumping, that's from upstairs. Okay, they do look cute. These were not put on an extender thing. But there's the earrings. There's the earring. That is cute. It's a little delicate, but most of the stuff I get from Earfleek is, unfortunately. Which means by the time I do my hair and fluff it all out, it's going to get hidden away. But we'll put them on. So there we go. Yeah, they're a little on the delicate side, but we'll see what happens. They're really cute. I do like them. If I had my hair up, these would be really great to wear with my hair up all the time, like this. Well, not like this. I don't wear my hair out like this, but anyway, they're cute. They're really cute. I like Earfleek. I think they're relatively worth it. I can get other earrings for about the same price that are a little bigger, a little flashier at Walmart or whatever. They are cute, and I think for $3.95 that's really cool. I haven't tried the $9.95 option. If you have, please comment down below and let us know how you like it and what kind of earrings you get, if they're bigger or if they're still kind of the same thing, only, you know, maybe 2 or 3 pairs rather than just 1 pair. Because I don't know anything about the more expensive one. What am I using today? So one of the things I'm going to do in terms of new palettes is I'm also going to try to use the new to play around with the stuff that I'm experimenting with. So for new, I'm going to be using the Grandiose palette that we got in BoxyCharm. I am also going to use the Midnight Chaos palette that I got for my birthday. And finally, for old, on the palette side of things, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Heavy Metals, which I really love. We'll get into the holiday season, so I'd like to do a more holiday-inspired thing. I'm testing this with a new powder, and that is with the Bad Habit Loose Setting Powder. This is in, I believe, medium. It says number 5. I feel a little bad. My husband's kind of tiptoeing around and trying to be quiet while I'm filming. So for starting off, we're going to start with the Ace Beauty from our BoxyCharm. I'm going to start mixing this color Patchouli and Jasmine and put that underneath my brow. And let's get started on the journey. I'm just going to cover it a little bit today. I'll probably go into further detail in a different video. I'm using my Alamar Floofy brush. Also a BoxyCharm item. Anyway, so sorry about that. My granddaughter wanted to come out and chat. She's not used to the whole grandma is filming thing. Anyway, back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. I guess it had to be about somewhere around 12 years ago, give or take. Might have been a little longer. Might have been closer to 13. But I weighed close to 300 pounds. And I was bedridden and very sick and had high blood pressure and all kinds of things going on. And at the time, yeah, I know. At the time, a couple of my daughters were living with me. We had some issues, and I began to realize that at that time, at least, that if anything happened to me, my girls were not at all prepared to take care of their brother. Now, as you know, my son has autism, and he's never going to be able to live alone. So I needed to make sure he was taken care of, and the first thing to do that was to take care of me. So I started losing weight. I think it was important for me to start with the losing weight. I couldn't get out of bed on my own, really. So, trying to do what I'm doing now versus what I was doing then wouldn't have worked. I really needed to get up and out of bed. But my biggest issue with all of this is the whole to be accepted, you have to be thin. I initially lost about 80 pounds, but then menopause hit and I regained almost 30 of it. And that's where I've been right now. But you know what? At my current weight, I am healthier than a lot of thinner people. And this is why I kind of wanted to talk about things, because during all of this, part of my transition was to I'm going to go with this from the Heavy Metals palette today, right now. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eyelid. Working on it. This is hard. I don't have a script in front of me, so I'm talking to you from my heart here, guys. But anyway, menopause made weight loss very, very difficult at best. And I had to take a break. And during that break, I came to realize several things. First of all, I was 50 years old. I'm over 50 years old. I mean, I just had my 55th birthday. And weight loss is difficult at any age. Once you hit menopause, it gets even harder. So everything slowed down practically to a stop. And I was stepping on the scale every day. I was stressing out about my food every day. I was working out for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, almost every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. It was crazy. And I was frustrated and unhappy, but I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do at the time. Think about that. For this outer corner, I am going to take this kind of brown one in the Midnight Chaos palette. And I'm going to mix it with this one to give it a little bit of sheen because we've got all this bright pop here. I don't want this to be all flat. So I'm going to mix these two and put them on the outer side of my thing. Anyway, so I started doing a little bit more research and came to the realization. It took a couple of years. I had to take time off because the menopause was just messing everything up and I was getting frustrated, and I knew that if I kept banging my head against that wall, I'd give up anyway. And then my grandson was born and I was taking care of him. And anybody who has taken care of an infant knows that they will just completely flip your life upside down. You will have no schedule. That's just how it goes. But some of that research that I started doing, well, that's acting a lot nicer than I thought it would be. I've actually touched on this one a little bit and I wasn't too impressed, but that's actually a nice color and doing really well. But anyway, I began to realize that I had bought into diet culture. That wonderful cultural thing that says for you to be beautiful, you must be thin. And to be thin, if you're heavy, you must give up food. You must give up things that you enjoy. You must work your butt off. And everything in your life should be focused on getting thin. I'm 50 years old. 55. In 5 years, I guess, makes a difference. Honestly, if I'm lucky, that's half my life. If I'm not lucky, I've lived more than half my life. And honestly, life is too short for that bullshit. That's what it comes down to for the most part. But the more I read, the more I started to agree. A lot of fallout. Gonna have to clean that up later. The more I started to agree that whole thing was money-making process. It really didn't. There's a few studies I've seen that have talked about how weight is not the deciding factor of health. It plays a part in it, yes. And if you're too far obese, yes, you're going to have high blood pressure, you're going to have extra risks. But losing weight has its dangers too. So, this whole thing about you have to be thin at nearly any cost, here's a pill for it, here's a special diet for it, is all to make money. And I really started to think about that during the 2 to 3 years that I was not doing anything, that I was just trying to let my body get through the transition that I was going through, and that I was trying to take care of my grandson at the time. And the more I thought about that, honestly, the more it kind of pissed me off. Did I need to lose weight? Yes. At 300 pounds, I needed to lose weight. But now that I'm down, I am not quite so sure that, well, I'll just say, I'm trying not to focus on weight. My focus has changed entirely. Weight is not the equivalent of health. It can help your health, but even being thin can be a bad part of health. So, keeping all of that in mind, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about all this was to encourage you in a way. Especially if you're a person who's trying to lose weight, whose goal in life is to be thinner. There are ways to be thinner without having to focus on the weight. But I'm going to get to that probably later. So I'm going to try to take this color rose. I'm going to put a little bit over the center and see what that does. See if we get like more red color. So we are going into the holidays. This is the hardest time, I think, for those of us who are on weight loss journeys or body journeys. Let's go with that. We'll go with body journeys. Oh, that rose isn't. Well, no, it's giving me a bit of a pink. Not a lot of shine, so I might try something over it in a minute. So my first encouragement to you is enjoy the family. Enjoy the food. Don't worry about the weight. So I'm going to take this same brush and I am going to put this color Twisted, this gold, in the same place that I just put the rose. I know this one is hard because I'm sure for a lot of you, the pressures to lose weight are coming from family. But don't let family or anyone guilt you out of eating the things you enjoy. This is the holidays. The holidays are stressful enough. I like that. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but I like that. The holidays are stressful enough without you giving in to relatives who are making you feel bad about yourself. But I know how it is. I know someone's going to come and say, should you eat that? So here's your response. Yes, because I want to, because I like it, because it's the holidays and I'm just going to enjoy myself right now. I know, as far as everyone knows, I was on a diet earlier. I'm not worrying about it during the holidays. We've got too much else going on during the holidays for me to worry about weight right now. You can do that. Nobody has to be on a diet all the time. And personally, nobody needs to be on a diet. If you're going to try to lose weight, you need to do something you can live with, because if it's just a diet, just to lose the weight, when you reach your goal, you're going to go off the diet, and guess what's going to happen? It's all going to come back. So here's my tips for surviving the holidays. Do you? I don't know what I'm doing next. You know what? We're just going to do something a little different, sort of. I'm going to take this dark color here, this sheeny color, kind of a dark purpley. I'm going to mix it with this blue too. I'm going to mix these two together. I'm going to put them in the crease and do my little wingy out here. That's what I'm going to do. So, enjoy yourself. Go ahead and eat the food. Eat the food. Don't let anyone scare you away from eating the food, okay? Food is more than just calories. Food is more than just fuel. Food is comfort. Food is socialization. Food is wrapped up in our culture. And when you deny yourself food, you're denying yourself those things. Let's get this in here. Uh-oh. This one's a little on the light side. Grab the dark blue first. Let's put some of that. Okay. So enjoy your holidays, and don't let anyone guilt you out of enjoying your holidays. That's not right. When you fill up your plate, I think a lot of us sit there and we look at this food. I mean, if you're like us, you have a huge table of food. huge. Personally, I think the holidays are just, I don't know. Sometimes I think they're just designed to torture people who are trying to watch what they eat in any way, shape, or form. That purple is not doing that well. It is giving the bluish sheen though, so I will go with that. I mean, I'm loaded up. They load up those tables. So, and I don't know if it's just us or, you know, if you have the same thing. But that table is just completely loaded, and there's going to be stuff on there that people are going to want you to eat. We have a beetle. I don't know what it's doing in my house, but we got a beetle. There are going to be things that people are going to want you to eat that you're not going to want to eat. And they're going to be the same people that are shaming you about eating too. So that's the other thing to think about that's just so wrong. Choose what you want to eat and make sure you want to eat it. If you don't like green beans, don't pick up the green beans to make Aunt May happy. Eat what you want to eat in moderation. And that's what I'm learning is part of the key. I can eat anything on a table, but I don't need to like do a big spoonful of everything on the table. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I think I got rid of him. Don't know why he was here. Alrighty. So eat what you want to eat. If you want a pumpkin pie slice, have a pumpkin pie slice. Don't let anybody shame you out of it. Enjoy the food, enjoy the family, enjoy the holiday. Don't worry about it. Anything that you're doing now before the holiday, you can get back to after the holiday. Don't feel any guilt. Don't feel any shame about it. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the food. Now, I'm not saying eat 15,000 calories in one sitting. That's not what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to try this brush I got in my Ipsy. I'm going to grab some of this matte poppy. I'm going to put that in the crease, just to deepen things up. Oh, whoa, there's a lot there. We're going to have to clean up a bit, I think. Anyway, well, that didn't quite deepen it up, did it? Did make it a little bit more red, which is fine. I might add something else to it. The focus of the holidays should be your family and the people you love. It shouldn't be on what you're eating, how much you're eating. It shouldn't be focused on shaming people about their eating. Use this time with your family and your holiday to evaluate a little bit. Is it really the weight you're worried about? Or is it the constant pressure to be thin? Or is it the fat? Because honestly, those are all different issues to think about. So I'm going to go back to the blue here. I'm going to deepen that up again a little bit. I think the red didn't quite work. So we're going to use just this blue that ended up having a nice pigment to it. And we're going to throw that in there. There we go. It actually mixes with that red to make a really pretty color. I can live with that. Kind of going outside the box here a little bit on our look. Yeah, that mixed nicely. It is a blue. I mean, it did become kind of a purple, which is expected. The one was kind of a red and the other one is a blue. Purple. I'm going to use my Alamar detailer I'm going to grab some of this and this combined. I'm going to finish the underline of my eye. Let's just do the matte one. Still might need a little help. It's okay. What I would suggest thinking about over the holidays is whether or not you want your journey to be a weight journey or a health journey. That's what I had to kind of think about, really, when it came down to it. It's making myself miserable. And there's more to health than being thin. There's your spiritual health, there's your mental health, or your psychological health. There's more to it than just, yeah, take off some weight, Daddy, you'll be better for it. There's more to it than that. And while you're being thankful, while you're enjoying your Christmas, while you're doing all of that stuff, think about those other things, because those other things are truly more important than being thin. And I know a lot of people, because I mean, it seems to happen every year at the holidays. We get a lot of people who are on the, well, if you're encouraging that, you're encouraging an obese and unhealthy lifestyle. No. Okay, so I'm going to use this CoverGirl Clean Invisible Concealer. This is in light. And I'm going to use that to help clean up my messes over here where the shadow made a mess. We have found that in a lot of recent studies, so straight line, so I can have a straight, this is how I get my sides straight, is I do it this way. Get a straight line across with the concealer. We have found in recent studies that, yes, weight can have a factor, but the more important thing is whether or not you're physically active. I got a lot to cover up there. More than on the other side. That's sad. So think about what kind of activities you like. When you come to make your goals for the new year, and I don't make resolutions, I make goals, which I suppose some people will go, well, that's a resolution. Kind of, not really. A goal is more like, this is what I'm aiming for. A resolution is more like, this is what I will do. I find resolutions to be a bit more constraining to me. They're more set. So if you don't make them, you feel worse about yourself. Whereas with a goal, you can sit there and go, but I made progress. So that is a new. And I've only used it once or twice, and I'm enjoying it. So that's a new. So when you're thinking about those, think about activities you enjoy. Think about how often you can bring those activities into your daily routine. Or if you're not capable of doing them yet, what you can do to get there. Color correcting. Yay, color correcting. So, for example, getting back to the figure out what you love to do and what you can do. I love to dance. I dance when I do the dishes. I sit on my stability ball and I'm dancing around when I get a good song there. I love to dance. But when I first started on the journey, like I said, I was bedridden. I could barely get out of bed and go up to the restroom. So dancing wasn't quite in my wheelhouse at that time. I started off this is Mineralogy. This is my favorite color corrector. I'm probably not going to be able to purchase it again. It's $20. You have to get the whole stack. Anyway, I started off with being very red today. I don't know what's going on. Probably partly the lighting. Partly the eyeshadow. But I started off with stretching and in bed, literally stretching in bed. And then from there, I started doing easier videos with dance moves, but not quite dancing, or yoga kind of stretching. And then after that, I went, by that time, soon after that we moved and I went to walking. I started walking, which was really interesting. And my just walking around, I transitioned from just walking around to walking and climbing stairs in my complex. So it's just a matter, and it turned out I liked walking. I actually initially did walking because I like to dance, but I couldn't dance. I didn't have the stamina to dance. So I thought walking would help me build up my stamina. And it turned out I didn't mind being one of the crazy people out in a drizzly rain walking. I actually ended up really enjoying it. So don't hesitate to find something new. Because you may find something that you really like. But the whole point of that was figure out a way to get to what you like to do if you can't do it yet. If you are dangerously obese, where you know that that weight is a huge factor in your health. And I mean, you know it. It's not the world telling you it is. You can tell, you can feel it. And if you are capable, there are a lot of people who can't lose weight for various reasons. But if you are capable, start easy. When you fill up your plate, as you normally do, take off a scoop of each thing and be happy with that. It's going to be a struggle. But again, that is only if it's an initial thing to look at. That's my advice. Because somewhere down the road, you'll be up on your feet and you'll be healthier than you've ever been. But you wouldn't have reached whatever goal you were aiming for. Or people around you will still be telling you, oh, you need to lose weight. You need to decide that for yourself. But there's going to be a point where you really need to start focusing on health and not weight. You focus on weight too much and you just start wanting to do almost anything. And that focus will make you miserable. It really will. I should have also prefaced this with, you know what, guys? I'm not a dietitian. I am not a doctor. I am basing this on all of this stuff on my journey. The biggest secret to being able to do things like lose weight or lose fat, which is actually what most of us think about. Okay, so we're using the True Blend. And I'm mixing it with a little bit of my Vichy Mineral 89. I love this stuff. I need to replace it. This is my NYX Professional Buffer Brush. Really need to wash my brushes. I'm going to mix these two together and then I'm going to start putting this on. The biggest secret to losing anything, to becoming healthier overall, honestly, is to be happy with you. And I know that's going to sound weird because why work on changing something if you're happy? Well, being happy with yourself, being satisfied with yourself in a lot of different ways, whether it's being satisfied with your personality or learning to accept and love your body. That doesn't preclude you from change. Try to figure out a way to tell yourself, I put foundation on my lips because my lips are 2 different colors, and that helps make it so that when I put lipstick on, both lips will match in terms of color. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Being happy with yourself, being content, loving yourself enough to go that I'm fine, doesn't mean that you don't want to improve yourself. So, yeah, I'm not going to be using this foundation much longer. It's a good foundation. It actually worked as a really nice transition in the fall. And I think I got this early in the summer before it got too hot. But right now my skin is starting to dry out, so matte foundations are not the best thing for my skin at this point. But I wanted to try it with this powder. Anyway, being happy with yourself, being able to look at yourself and go, I'm an okay person, I look fine, screw the rest of the world and their expectations for me, doesn't mean you can't also say, but I can improve. I can improve upon myself. I can make myself healthier. I can work on losing a little bit of this belly, whatever it is. Something you can be content with yourself and still want to be better. That's what I'm getting at. So, those are just things to think about during the holiday season. Let's try our new powder. This is the Bad Habit loose setting powder. It's fairly new, I think. One of the things that it has is it has this plastic cap on the top, which is great, but it was attached, which made it hard to get some of the powder, get off of there, out of the container into the space for me to actually use. So I cut it off. I do still use it, but I cut it off. I'm not going to use that brush today. I'm going to use this one. I've used this powder a couple of times, and I actually think I like it. So there's that. Yeah, we're seeing a little more texture than I like. Like I said, my skin dries in the winter, so it's probably the matte is just a little too dry for my face right now. Okay, so we're getting a little on here, and I pretty much have covered, you know, the holidays and what you should be thinking about. But the biggest takeaway from all of it is enjoy your family, enjoy your holiday. Don't worry about the goddamn food. I mean, seriously, don't. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. I can't say it enough. It's food. And if people shame you about them, just look at them and go, it's the holidays. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I can always go back to what I want to do after the holidays. But I'm not adding any more stress to my life by worrying about the food. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. That's the biggest things I wanted you, the biggest takeaway that I wanted to give you from that. All right, so I'm going to try to get through the rest of this fairly quickly. This is my powder concealer in light from Ocean Mist. Doesn't completely hide the circles, but it helps. I am now ready to play with the new brush to see how it does for my lining. Okay, so to line, I'm going to take this sparkly black out of the heavy metals, which I have used to line before. It doesn't come out really dark, but I love the sparkle. And I'm using my new ColourPop brush to see if this is going to be thin enough. It looks just a touch thick, but we'll see how it does. Here we go. Yeah, I think this brush will work. It needs some breaking in. So I opted to speed through that for a couple of reasons. One, my husband was trying to prepare to start dinner. He's going to be starting dinner very soon. And two, we're already getting quite long. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face. I will be back soon, and I will try to come up with some final thoughts. But I'm going to finish my face and then get my hair dry, and then I will be back. So see you in what's probably going to be about a half hour or so for me, but like that for you. And here we are. My hair isn't quite dry yet, so I haven't fluffed it. I'm just letting it finish its air dry, essentially. I used a CoverGirl on the lips, and I used my usual Zuri Flawless for my contour. I use NYX for both my blush and my highlight, and so that's it. I am sorry that this one has been kind of scattered. I didn't have any notes in front of me, really. I just wanted to talk to you all about refocusing on the holidays and using the holidays themselves to focus on family, not worrying about the food. If you're trying to lose weight or become healthier, don't worry about it so much during the holidays. It's a stressful time as it is. And to perhaps use them to think about how you want your journey to go in the future. And not worry about it, but think about things you can do to start to achieve that journey. I really want you to enjoy your holidays. I really want all my dragynettes to have less stress and just don't even worry about weight. Don't worry about food. Just enjoy yourself. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. For any of your other holidays, I hope you have a happy holiday, and I hope we will see you come back again and we can discuss this a bit more. Obviously, our Wednesday videos are now going to be a bit longer than they were for the garden, because these discussions do tend to be a bit longer. I am working on how to make my get readies with me a little shorter. We'll figure all that out. Hopefully, I will be using these, and I will learn how to not be here for an hour. I hope you like what you've seen, and that if you're new here, that you'll subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. And if you're one of my notification squad, don't forget to check your bell just in case. And if you don't subscribe, you know what? Understand, especially after a heavy video like today, even though we did focus a little bit on the makeup, most of which I actually really do enjoy. I still hope that you'll come back and visit us again. And when you do come back to visit us again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. It would be a good tea, even cold, if it didn't have that bitter aftertaste. I'm honestly really disappointed because the initial part of the sip is so good. And then that end of the taste comes in and it's like, no. I mean, I realize it's a mint, but mint doesn't have to be, maybe it's the mugwort. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's strong and it's bitter and it ruins the cup for me. So yeah, no, I'm not interested in buying this or even finishing this one up. Sadly, I hope we see you all again soon. You all have a great day. Bye.